Hello everyone and welcome back. I hope you enjoyed last week's video and let's go and get started on this one. Actually, we are going to go back to last week's video and talk about what happened. If you've seen it already, you've probably thought everything went well and as planned, but my friend, that is not the case. Before we went to Salem Maritime, we were planning to go to Faneuil Hall, another park in Boston. The night before, though, we went to the website, and guess what we found out? It was closed till April. Well, we decided to go to Minuteman instead. That wasn't too much of a change. But just before we left, we checked the website to see when the park was open. And it was closed till May. It took quite a bit of searching before we found a park open to visit in winter. Now looking back, I see a couple of things we could have done in order to prevent all this hassle. And that is what we will be doing today. 7 things to do and check before you visit a national park. Now before we go into too much detail, there are 3 things I want to remind you of that will affect your visit. 1, the season you visit the park. 2, the location of your park. And 3, what type of park you visit. Whether it's a historical site, or a national park, a national recreational area, or a national seashore. It varies. I will go into a little bit more specifics later on. Let's get started with the actual list of 7 things. 1. Check to see if your park is open. This is something we probably should have checked to see past week, but this comes really in handy, trust me. Checking to see your park's operating hours and seasons is important to check so you don't find yourself in a sticky situation. If the park is open at 10 and you get there at 9, that's, well, a sticky situation. You'll have to wait there an hour before the park opens. In this area of the website, it can also tell you whether or not the park is even open. Now, that is even more important when visiting, because if the park's not open, there's nothing to visit. You can find this area of operating hours and seasons on the park's official website. Okay, number 2. Parking. Now this comes into play not only in more urban setting parks, but even in huge ones like Yellowstone. If you pre-plot where you park, or even some options that you could choose from along the way, this can save so much time. In big parks like Yellowstone, you have to remember that there are thousands of people coming there to visit, and you've got to get there early, especially in the peak seasons. This is another thing that could save you time and help your trip run smooth all the way. Number 3, weather. Another thing you should probably check out before you visit is the weather in the park. This can help you in 2 areas. 1, what time of day or even what day you should visit the park. And 2, what you should wear to the park. If you're going to the Grand Canyon, don't pack snow boots. Knowing your weather and conditions can save you space and money. Number 4, go before you go. Now this is something even park rangers have to remind people to do. Firstly, you need to go before you even get in the car. It could be a several-hour drive to a park, and even if it's not, you still should try. And secondly, you need to go before you go on a 2-hour bus tour, or you go cross-country skiing for 6 hours, or you do a 4-mile nature walk. You get the point. Long things in national parks, and you don't want to find yourself in another very sticky situation. Okay, let's move on to number 5. Alerts and notifications. You can also find this on a park's official website. This tells you whether some things or areas in parks are closed off due to danger or just because they're having maintenance worked on right now. This does not necessarily mean the whole park is closed, but it could kind of, affect your trip. If you were planning to go on this certain path to Old Faithful, maybe that path was closed off. You might have to replan that. And those are some things that you might want to keep in mind. And this help you on your visit, and you can have, as again, a nice, smooth visit. Number 6, seasons. This can help you in a number of reasons. For one, the things you can see and do change in a park depending on the season. You probably won't get to go sledding in Glacier National Park during the summertime, and won't get to canoe there in the winter. It's just the way Earth works. Another thing it affects is what you have to wear. I've already mentioned this, but I need to say it again. What you wear to a park depends on the season and weather. These two could almost fall under the same category. And last but not least, number 7! That was 7? Okay, number 7, time zones. Lastly, you will want to remember time differences. National parks span all over the U.S., and the U.S. spans over several different time zones. When traveling between them, you'll want to remember these to save a little bit of confusion, and even some jet lag and some problems that might come up through this. Some parks may even be more than one time zone, and you'll want to keep this in mind as well. And if once you have all that in mind, that will make your trip run all the smoother. Yeah. Okay, well that's a wrap today on Ranger Ruby YouTube channel. I hope you found at least one of these useful when you visit a national park. Comment down below some other things you might want to remember or keep in mind when visiting a national park. Smack the like button and be sure to click the red subscribe button to always know when I post new content. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see ya in another video. Bye!